what separates you from George Allen that's out of insight?
I'm so glad you asked. The distinction is very real. George Allen, he served one term in the United States Senate. I thought he was a good governor. I actually worked for him when he was governor. But in his one term in the United States Senate, there was not an appropriation bill or a spending bill that came across his desk that he did not vote for. Every single one in 6 years. So he voted and added over $3 trillion to the national debt. He voted for over 40,000 earmarks and was quoted in the newspaper as saying, "I'm proud of every single earmark I voted for." He voted for No Child Left Behind. He voted for the largest expansion of entitlements prior to Obamacare with the Medicare Part D. He voted for corn ethanol subsidies and a list of other subsidies. He voted for hate crimes legislation. So that was just in 6 years. And then in this campaign, he hasn't been willing to take position on anything. No, on Medicare, on Social Security, there's been a number of things. He voted against the for the assault weapons ban. So there's a number of things.
What was your position on guns? You said you didn't differ with George Allen. Did you have concealed permit?
I'm trying to figure out the funniest way to answer this. I do have it concealed. Yes. So that answers that. If you want to know my position on guns, the right to keep and bear arms, usrkba.org, U.S. Right to Keep and Bear Arms did an interview with me on Second Amendment right issues. And when I got done, he sent an email out saying that I was probably the most pro-gun candidate Virginia had ever had.
Will you, when you get into the Senate, from the positive side, when you get into the Senate, will you pass legislation to allow concealed carry in Washington, D.C.?
What do you think?
You know my opinion on that.
Yes. Absolutely.
Carry on the Senate floor.
You know, ironically enough, Jim Webb, who's the seat that we're fighting for, actually got in trouble because he had his assistant go into the building carrying his gun, and it created a ruckus. So he actually was pretty good on Second Amendment issues. But that made me think about when you asked me how I'd vote on something. Someone asked a question about what would you do about Agenda 21. You asked him. I'd like to tell you what I'm going to do. And I've been developing a more comprehensive plan, so I'll put something out more formal at a later time. I'm waiting for the whole debt ceiling debate to get over with so it doesn't get lost in that shuffle, so it's going to come out later. But I want to go ahead and tell you what I'm going to do since I'm here. The first thing is the United Nations. The United Nations, it's not just Agenda 21, it's the rights of the child, the UN rights of the child. What was it? Small arms, thank you, I was blanking on it. There's a number of things that they have that are offensive, I think, and unconstitutional, which is also a big thing. And right now, the way it works for the United States is we pay sort of a mandatory fee. It's called an assessed value. And we pay anywhere between 17 and 27% more for peacekeeping, and then 17%. We carry a significant portion of the United Nations budget, and it's just expected that we're going to turn that money over every year. It's just, here, where's my check? My proposal to hold Agenda 21 and all these other people accountable that this money is going towards is that we are no longer going to just pay you anything. That we, My proposal on the UN is we will decide if and when there's something we're interested in supporting, and if not, we won't. So this isn't going to be this just hand over your money and go do what you want and put North Korea on the disarmament conference and put Libya on the human rights conference as the head, not as a member, as the chairman of those conferences. That's absolutely absurd, and the fact that we keep supporting that financially makes no sense. So that's my UN proposal, and then you still have the EPA, and
first one is, why in a supposedly civilized society do we need automatic or assault weapons?
Your question was, why does anyone need assault weapons? Was that basically? In a free society?
Civilized.
A civilized.
We're not civilized.
Civilized and free society. You know why? Because it's a constitutional right for people to keep and bear arms, and there's no reason to be afraid or fearful of law-abiding citizens. So I think that it's a constitutional right for people to own their weapons, and it's what keeps our country free. And you may disagree with that, but it's a trickle-down effect that I figure out that I need to take that, then I figure I need to take your silencers, then I figure that you really don't need any shotguns and rifles, and then all of a sudden, what do you need a handgun for? You don't need handguns to go, hunting, and on it goes. And once you allow that encroachment, then it keeps going. Well, I appreciate you taking so much time, because I know we've been here for 2 hours. That's a long time to sit in plastic seats. So I appreciate it, but I would love to have your help and support, because it really will take the movement of the Tea Party. I thank Dorothy for her support and what you guys are doing here just in Matthews and Gloucester County. So keep up the fight, and I'll be happy to talk to anyone afterwards. But thank you for your patience. I appreciate it.